What is up, guys? Rick Triple Upload Kackis here. Thank you so much for stopping by, and today, that's right, this is the third video going out today. So much stuff happening within Destiny 2. In this video, we are going to be covering the brand spankin' new Destiny 2 info coming from the Bungie Weekly Update. Tons of really interesting stuff. Earlier today, I posted my early access Shadowkeep gameplay, one video on the first mission of Shadowkeep, check it out if you want to, and another one of myself exploring the moon, taking a look at the full map size, going into some lost sectors, facing nightmare enemies, and a bunch of more stuff. Highly recommend you guys check that out as well. But onto the purpose of this video, which is the brand new news. So let's get started with combat changes. So there's going to be PvE difficulty tuning. Mainly, now enemies can be damaged even if they're 100 power levels above you. And Bungie says combatants that are 10 to 40 levels higher take less time to kill and deal less damage. So they're not as insane as they are right now. But this will continue to get more difficult all the way up to 100. Once they're 100 difference, then they become immune. Moving on from there, we've got some big changes to leveling. So, all non-powerful rewards now drop 3 to 0 points below your highest equipable power level, up from 15 to 20 below. This is a monumental change to leveling. Right now, if you're not doing powerfuls, you're not leveling. But with this change, because your overall power level is an average and you're going to have some gear that just lags behind, just normal legendary drops, non-powerful rewards, so that includes some of the old activities that they take out of the powerful loot pool, they will still help you level if you are getting drops that are equal to your power level, and then you can apply them to your worst gear. Like your gauntlets are 10 levels below your average power level. Well, if you get a normal legendary gauntlet drop, you've just leveled up significantly. So that is going to make leveling way easier with Shadowkeep. But there's way more. So the year 2 powerful reward sources have changed to legendary rewards. So these sources no longer have a chance to drop a random exotic instead of legendary gear. Bonus exotics that drop from Nightfall the Ordeal, which is kind of the revamped Nightfall coming in Shadowkeep, will drop at the character's highest equipable power level. Then, under and over-leveling activities no longer adjust how much power is received from the rewards. Experience no longer fuels a player character's level, which has been changed to level 50 for all characters. So no level increase in Shadowkeep, it's just a power level increase. And then Bungie states that all experience will be applied to your seasonal artifact. That's where your experience goes from now on. And for that seasonal artifact, the power granted is additive with the power of the player's equipable gear, but it does not increase the power of gear drops. Next, all existing gear has had its power level increased to a maximum of 750, and this is starting at Shadowkeep, so don't infuse anything before Shadowkeep. Moving on, the power bands for Season 8 are as follows. The floor is 750. Literally everything is being moved up to 750. The soft cap is 900, so all drops up to this point will be upgrades to the most powerful item in your inventory or vault. Beyond this point, only powerful and pinnacle rewards increase your power level. That goes up to 950. And then from there, we also have a pinnacle cap going up to 960. So stuff like the daily strike, that can get you up to 950, but you're going to have to do pinnacle activities like raids, Iron Banner to get to 960. Prime engrams are changing pretty dramatically as well. Notably, they're going to provide +3 power consistently, down from +4 to +7. That makes them less variable, and I actually think that's a good change. Moving on from there, we have some big changes to Bright Dust, and mainly just delete all your Eververse stuff, because when Shadowkeep comes out, you're going to be able to withdraw it from your collections. You shouldn't have lost it. And when you do that, it's not going to cost Bright Dust. It's only going to cost Legendary Shards and Glimmer. So you want to get as much Bright Dust as possible before Shadowkeep to spend in Eververse. So now how you're going to get Bright Dust is going to be doing Crucible, Gambit, and Vanguard weekly and repeatable bounties. And notably, this change means that any Crucible, Gambit, or Vanguard completed bounties in your inventory need to be turned in before maintenance begins on September 30th, because these changes will reset them. So if you haven't turned in a certain Vanguard bounty, you don't turn in, then Shadowkeep comes out, it's going to be gone from your inventory. So if you're stocking up on bounties for extra experience, yeah, turn in all the ones that fall into that category. However, they do say other bounties like Gunsmith, Clan, Eververse, presumably raid bounties and stuff like that, can still be claimed after October 1st, if again, you're still stocking up on bounties there. Additionally, unfortunately, Fireteam medallions are being removed from the store, and they'll change to fizzled Fireteam medallions, which won't do anything other than let you dismantle them. So that's to, I think, calm down the leveling of your seasonal artifact. Next up, for Glimmer, the cap is raised to 250,000, and the sources for it have been rebalanced. For example, when you're doing, a public event, it's going to reward significantly more Glimmer than it does right now. Moving on from there for the Spiders exchange. So there's going to be new stuff available. He's going to offer all the different planetary materials, but at better yield. So now Glimmer exchange costs 10 legendary shards or 20 materials, but it gives you 10,000 Glimmer. So that's kind of how it works. Moving on from there, for Xur, his inventory is going to be updated to include all world drop exotics from year 2. So if you didn't get, a Season of Opulence exotic, for example, now you're going to have a chance starting with Shadowkeep. Moving on, we've got a little bit of a patch notes preview. I'm just going to read the important ones. So rally banners are going to Leviathan, Eater of Worlds, and Spire of Stars. That's a great change. The Shattered Throne dungeon is going to be available 24/7, and it can be launched directly from the director, so you don't have to wait 3 weeks to use it. Black Armory forges are just going to be directly accessible through the director again. Weapon mods will become reusable. And you won't be able to AFK farm materials from the forges anymore. Moving on from there, this is the big one. All of your god rolls that you think are phenomenal, well, you may have to go and re-earn them or reassess them, because some of the best, well, not some of the best, pretty much all of the best perks in the game for weapons have been significantly nerfed in PvE. Let's go over them. So, Rampage, Kill Clip, Swashbuckler, Multi-Kill Clip, Desperado, Surrounded, Master of Arms, and Onslaught are all being nerfed in PvE. And essentially, they say, in general, these perks use the same damage multipliers for PvE that they did in PvP. So, right now, Rampage caps out at ×3, 30% bonus damage in PvP, but in PvE, it goes all the way up to like 67%. So with Shadowkeep, it's going to be lowered to a maximum of that 30% PvE damage. Now, as for the reason for this, Bungie says that legendaries have just become way too powerful, beating out most exotics, frankly, and they say that in Destiny 1, there was a perk called Crowd Control, which worked exactly like Rampage. It capped out at a bonus of plus 15% extra damage, and of course, new Rampage is plus 67 right now. That's a 447% increase from the original D1 version. So they said things spiraled out of control, and they've got to calm it down. But you guys watching and you guys listening now again need to go back to those rolls, reassess them. Is that Rampage roll as good as you think it is, or perhaps would another perk be better? There's still a few more days until Shadowkeep, and Menagerie is dropping a ridiculous amount of rewards, so there is still time to grind some new and different rolls for what you predict will be better in the upcoming meta. Moving on from there, another big piece of news, there are going to be no Pinnacle Weapons with Shadowkeep. However, they are going to be replaced with Ritual Weapons. Now, what's the difference? Well, Ritual Weapons will not have unique perks. So there's going to be no Master at Arms for the Recluse, none of those unique exotic light perks. And the reason for that, Bungie states, is that they were just way too ridiculous. I mean, the Mountaintop and the Recluse completely took over the PvE meta. Like, they were so much better than everything else. They edged out exotics hilariously, and so having to calm down what kind of spiraled out of control with Forsaken is a theme of Shadowkeep, it seems. We also did get a look at the 3 new ritual weapons coming with Shadowkeep. By the way, there's still going to be a quest to go and get these ritual weapons. I assume they're still going to be pretty powerful. Again, they just don't have that unique Pinnacle perk. Oh, and by the way, because they don't, the quests to get them are going to be easier than they are right now. So no mountaintop style quests for sure. Anyways, for the Vanguard, we have the Edgewise machine gun. For the Crucible, we have Randy's throwing knife. That's what it says. Looks like a scout rifle. And lastly, for Gambit, we have the Exit Strategy SMG. And then moving on from there, Bungie decided to clear up some misinformation. So during the launch trailer, it showed a Warlock with the Trials of the 9 armor, and apparently this was a mistake, although it's like how you had to specifically select that, so I don't know how that happened. But they do say the Trials of the 9 armor is not going to be obtainable in Season of the Undying, unfortunately. But moving on from there, they also revised their gameplay calendar. This is the absolute latest version. You'll notice that Nightmare Hunts have been somewhat changed around in terms of the dates. Also, in terms of this compared to the original calendar, the Exotic Quest on the 29th, that was a whole different weapon, and now that's the Xenophage machine gun, so that's something to note as well. And one more piece of information is that back where they were unveiling things, they talked about a finisher that would enable you to spawn heavy for your entire fire team. That has changed now. When Shadowkeep comes out, it's just gonna give heavy ammo to you, and there's a different mod that gives special ammo to your entire fire team. And the last thing we're going to talk about is that Bungie released what the new raid jackets are going to look for Garden of Salvation. They're pictured right here. So if you beat the raid within that first weekly reset, so they say if you beat Garden of Salvation before October 15th, you'll be eligible to claim this raid jacket. Show it off to all your friends. Guys, that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed, found this informative. And if you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickKackis. That's linked in the description down below. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.